ChatGPT is like, how you, how, it's like Alexa or
Is
Siri.
it something new? Is it
Yeah.
completely brand new? Okay.
Yeah, so, in simple terms, it's just a machine learning language, and it's trained on this data model where it's processed a lot of information, but basically what it is, it's lets you talk just like a human.
Okay.
So instead of just putting in a search engine, like show me, the top 10 podcasts in technology, you can do the same thing in ChatGPT. And then you can ask follow-up questions to it.
Okay.
And then you can, you can use it for information, you can use it for research, education, you can use it to make your day-to-day work easy. So I think of ChatGPT as my virtual assistant.
Hi, Mamta.
Hi, Sanjana.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hi, Kapil. Yeah,
Hi,
thank you
Sanjana.
for joining me today. It's really nice to see you both.
Nice to see you too.
Both technology gurus here. So I've seen Mamta. We were having some conversation and saw her really excited about ChatGPT, and I'm like, what is ChatGPT? So can you talk about it, Mamta? Like, what is it?
Yeah, so ChatGPT is like, how you, it's like Alexa or Siri.
Is it something new? Is it
Yeah.
completely brand new? Okay.
Yeah, so, in simple terms, it's just a machine learning language, and it's trained on this data model where it's processed a lot of information, but basically what it is, it's lets you talk just like a human.
Okay.
So instead of just putting in a search engine, like show me, the top 10 podcasts in technology, you can do the same thing in ChatGPT. And then you can ask follow-up questions to it.
Okay.
And then you can, you can use it for information, you can use it for research, education, you can use it to make your day-to-day work easy. So I think of ChatGPT as my virtual assistant. I run off ideas by it. And it gives me some ideas. Some are good, some of them because it's as good as, the models it's trained on. So sometimes it doesn't know much. But it's a very, very useful tool. And we're just getting started on it as an industry. So yeah, I'm very excited about it.
So there's only Kapil. Is there one company handling it right now, or is it many companies doing it?
It's one company,
Okay, one
the
company.
OpenAI in San Francisco. So they launched this ChatGPT as one of their biggest inventions, I would call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their algorithms are so great that the models that they get all the data from are very well done, and they give you the right and accurate answers to an extent where they have been shown to pass the exams as well. So it's that great. So the accuracy of the data is very, very important and very relevant to, and it's a conversational model, so you could ask 20 other questions if you like.
Or like
based on
she
the
said, follow-up questions.
Follow-up questions. I will give you the answers. Well, it's still an evolving thing, but the start is amazing, and where we see some other companies try to launch their models right after this, and they faltered because they launched it too soon, or their product was not so great. Won't name the companies, but that's it. But it's a great product. I think it'll go a long way, and the use cases have started just coming in, right? Microsoft Bing being one of the biggest ones for this.
Okay.
But the industry is going to move towards this model.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mamta, it's going to affect the job industry? Like, there's so many jobs that are based on you digging into knowledge and researching. If ChatGPT is going to do all the work, is it going to affect our IT
I
jobs?
would call it a evolution not. If you look at maybe 20 years back, right? They said the .com and the year Y2K problem will rip off the whole world and whatnot, right?
Yes.
Nothing happened, right? Instead there was a .com bust, but things evolve eventually with time. People have to, make sure that they evolve with the times. If they don't, then you're left behind. That's the technology field is unfortunately like this, that if you do not evolve in time, then you're done. You shouldn't be in technology.
So basically you are saying that there's going to be a shift in the industry. More people be needed somewhere else.
Yeah, so there'll be new use cases coming out of this. You will need development on those use cases. There'll be new startups coming with these, using this as just the base, and they'll build products out of it. So eventually it will evolve. It's not like going to shut everything down. And as in tech industry, right, you have to keep updating your skill set to be relevant. That's true actually for any industry too.
And Mamta, what do you think, as a mother of 2 young kids, if they have access to it, would it make them so lazy? Like, okay, I don't have to do anything. Here's a question.
Not at all. We actually, when it came out, all of us, me and my 2 kids, we were all having fun asking it funny questions and getting the answers back. And because it's not that it's going to take anything away, it just helps you do your job better.
Okay.
So, for example, let's say you need to write a wedding invitation. You can ask it for, give me some samples to write a wedding invitation, and maybe what it comes up with, it's too formal. And then you can say, no, I want to send it to my friends, be a little bit more casual than it,
funny or something.
Or funny, and then it's like a conversation. So it's not like you're just going to copy paste it, then you're going to take those ideas, you're going to change some of it. So for kids also, I know there is some colleges are getting worried that, this is, kids are going to write papers with it and all those things, and they have tools now to even detect that. But it's just like, when we were, let's say, I don't know how many years it was, but you used to have those encyclopedias. You need to go into libraries to get when you had a research paper, then you would go, either you had the set or you would go to the library and get those research. And then we had the internet, where all of the information was available. So then, oh my God, all of this information is available. Kids are going to just use that, and then they will not be able to, be smart enough about it. Did that happen? No. Then there is going to be, it's again more complex problems. Humans have a very complex brain, so there's like more complex problems they can work on, right? So same thing now. Yes, information, like it's providing some feedback. You can get things easier, but then it's not going to make them like completely irrelevant. They still have to do their, they still have to write their papers. They still have to do the research. It'll show up one way or the other, like in their exams or on their tests. So it's not that, it's just part of. It's just part of. It's part of growing up.
Evolution, as you said. Like,
the same thing that happens with calculators, right? When the calculators came out, like, kids cannot use it in exams, but then when you take calculus and all of those things, you have access to your scientific calculators. So it's just a tool set. It's a tool in your toolbox, and you use it, and it's up to you how you use it.
So there's nothing to be like, there's nothing to be scared of it. It's something we need to use use to our advantage, right? It's going to make us, maybe there'll be some assistant, but we can kind of bypass the basic stuff, and we can move to the high level thinking. Right?
Absolutely.
What about like some people? I was reading somewhere like it's a disruptor to the industry or something. Is that a possibility or?
Yes, it's quite a possibility, because AI is just getting started, right? The things around us, actually, none of them are AI based, or there's no intelligence as such. You look everything around you, there's absolutely no AI. So it's just getting started, and the use cases will come through, and when all of the new data that we have been collecting for past maybe a decade, right?
Yeah.
All of that data is fed through these models. A lot of new things will come out.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to be seen. We are just at the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
And that's where we are. So
Okay.
I don't see anything to be scared about. Technology is as good as it's.
It is very exciting, right?
Yes,
Then?
yes.
Yeah.
I feel that if we'll make a good use of anything has a good and a bad.
Oh yes,
to it,
yes.
right? So it depends on the individuals to see how we use it and how we evolve through it. Right?
So what I learned today from both of you is that it needs, so ChatGPT basically gets all this knowledge from
The internet,
some
yeah.
artificial intelligence. It's fed into
It's
it
fed into
probably,
it, yes.
and then it's helping us in a way that we can research on topics and we can get information a lot on different things, and even like a simple thing like writing like a little story or an invitation or something that helps you, and then you can think about other more complicated things,
Yes.
right? Because you have more time to do other things, right? So it is.
And it's not gotten into the mainstream technology yet.
Okay.
When this AI will help doctors do their surgeries in a better way.
Yeah.
A lot of things will come out of it.
A lot of things.
That's
Cures
something-
of diseases.
Cures
and-
of diseases, the DNA sequencing can get better. Tons of useful cases will come out of it. And we have a full, I think the next decade will be very interesting.
Very promising.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, one thing I do want to add is that, we were talking about when women in IT and biases and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever biases we have that are going into these data models, that's what's also coming out. So that's one thing we do need to be careful about, that we don't have, we don't have those biases in the data set that we are teaching. So that's one thing. And the second thing is misinformation can also spread very easily. Just we have seen in the last couple of years, with Facebook and Twitter, how fast the information spreads.
Yeah.
So when that misinformation is in the data model and then millions of people are using that, that misinformation is also going to spread very fast. So like you said, you can use it for good or bad. So, and there are going to be both kinds of people who will be making use of this technology. So those are some of the things we need to be aware about.
Okay. So the users should be aware about it, or the people who are getting that information there should be aware?
I think both, yes.
Okay.
Because, you can get all the information instead of somebody try to feed wrong information.
Yeah.
The user also has to be aware of it, right?
So
awareness
basically,
needs to
it's
be
like
there.
anything else, right? We still have to use our common sense.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But there are a lot of advantages also.
Yeah.
But we still have to use our common sense in making the right decisions, right? About anything, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then you said, it is here to stay and it's here to grow, and it's like anything else. It's going to evolve,
Yes,
and then
definitely.
it's going to be useful for us, right? All right.
Okay.
Thank you for joining me today. Thank you so much. All right.
If you wanna talk about anything at all, then you know who to call. Just tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Just tell Sanjana.